Okay, today I will be playing on Lichess, a standard game. And anyone who shows up first, while I'm getting ready here, figured you guys could try this tactics puzzle. It's Black to Move, so check that out. It's from the recent Legends chess tournament. This is from a free Chessable book, so you can actually check this out. It's called Tactics from the Legends, and it is free on Chessable. So definitely check that out if you're using Chessable. And if you're not using Chessable and you like chess and you want to improve at chess, I would consider doing that. I'll play around with my settings for a second. Let me know how it's looking in terms of the quality of the stream. Last week I had some issues, so if it's any better this, definitely let me know. Okay. See some people are rolling in. How's it going, guys? Let me know what you guys are up to. I put a puzzle up here, and it is Black to Play. I'm gonna start playing. Gonna look for a game in a moment, but while I'm setting up here, I wanted to see how it's going. It looks like my quality is a little bit better than it was last week. So let me know if that's the case. And in a couple minutes, I'm gonna look for a game to play. How is my audio? It's the YouTube is telling me that my audio is doing so great. I think I'm using the correct settings, I believe. Be fine. But again, let me know if choppy and have to tweak the audio. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Everything seemed to be fine. I was on Twitch the other day, and the stream seemed pretty good then. Like looks like everything's okay. Can you guys hear me okay? Okay, well, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play a rapid game on Lead Chess. I'm trying to find probably a 15-10, and then I'm actually going to analyze after. I hope you'll stick around, and I love your feedback. While I'm playing, I ask you can definitely chat with me, but I ask you don't recommend any moves. I like to try to play on my own. But afterwards, while we're analyzing, I love your feedback. Hear what you guys think. Let me go ahead and I'm going to search for a game. See if get one. So 15-10 on Lichess. That seems to be fast enough to not be super boring and have a lot of time in between moves, but slow enough that I can talk about it without too much interference. Actually taking a little to find a game, and I'm wondering if it's because the Legends of Chess are actually. So, actually, I'm wondering if. Oh, here's a game. Okay, here we go. Actually, let me switch up my view here so that you guys can see my clock. Okay. Okay, d6 is played. d4 here, taking up nice center, and it looks like he's going into the modern, and also which can also transpose into Turk. So let's see what he does after this. Knight to c3 is a standard move. Okay, now we're in kind of modern territory. And really, the big difference here is that with the modern, black can develop this knight to 7 instead of f6 in some lines. But there's a lot of different options here. Okay, knight to c6, attacking my pawn here. And this line, I think I can go f4. Oh, hold on a second. I was going to say I can go f4. Then what if d5 gets... Well, in that case, I think I could play queen to f3. Standard. Play f4 here. Taking a nice broad center, and the general idea here is that white is going to build up the center, and black is going to fight back against it. Okay, now we have bishop to g4. This looks... Is this a blunder? Am I missing something? Bishop to g4. What about queen takes g4? Seems kind of odd. Queen takes, then maybe knight to f6. This seems like he's blundering a bishop here. Okay, queen. Well, I guess he's getting this pawn out of it. Queen takes g4. And I don't really see any problem with taking it. So let's go ahead and take it here. I don't know if he just made a big mistake. He resigns in the next couple moves. Okay, well, this is okay. Not quite sure, again, what the issue is. Let's see, I can, for my opponent, I think it's just down a piece for a pawn. Now I can play queen to d1 here. Other options, I was thinking I could castle here. Yeah, this position looks pretty good. I'm not quite sure what the idea was. I could just play rook to d1 here, or I can just trade. So, he's going to have this dark square bishop. I guess I'm just not sure what he was trying to do here. This just looks bad. I mean, he's threatening this fork here, but other than that, I don't see much to it. See, I can castle, and then if he retreats, I can even play something like h4. I could pin his knight. A ton of options here. By castle, though, I guess the main concern here, and maybe break in over on this side, but still, I see that as being a problem. Also, take on d4, bishop takes d4, queen to f3. That way I kind of maintain my pawn center here. Then I can castle. So that's an option as well. But you know what? I kind of like this dark square bishop to oppose his. Let's go ahead and castle here. Then he plays something. If he plays his knight back, then I can either pin it, but if I want to avoid this knight being damaged or being having my structure be damaged, I could play something else. Well, we can make that decision after he plays here. But very odd. Okay, he's gonna play his knight back. Is he trying to trap my knight? Is that what he's doing? Yes, I guess you can try. The problem is now his knight is being attacked. I think I can just play. Well, here I can play something 4, and I'm still now I'm threatening to take here, and if he backs it up, then now I can pin it because there won't be. I don't necessarily even. Okay, let's see here. Let's play into h4. My opponent has some problems too here, that his king is now stuck in the center, and I can now consider something like e5. Or I could just continue my development with 5. Let's see here. Or knight to f3. Knight to f3 looks nice. Then if he castles, play that e5 move. The reason bishop to b5 I might want to wait on, because I don't necessarily want to take this knight and have him open the b file. I think knight to f3 makes a lot of sense. Go ahead and play that. So yeah, I'm not quite sure. I think he just blundered. Now e5 is definitely on the cards for us. Okay, he's gonna play his knight back. Very interesting. Now we have some issues, and I think I can just play bishop to c4 here, targeting the f7 square. Then if he plays something like bishop to 6, I can just drop it back. I'm okay if he wants to. But let's see. Can I even play e5 here? I think I need to develop more because e5. Now d takes e5, f takes e5, and knight takes e5. Yeah, he can win a pawn here because I don't quite have enough firepower here. So I think developing this bishop, good idea. And then I can consider moves like knight to let's try that. Okay, bishop takes c3, and I'm actually okay with that because this he has some problems now too in that this his king's position is going to get very uncomfortable very quick. A little minor concession here. Also, he has no real way to attack king. Look at this. Now is going to have some real problems right. Queen to h6 makes a lot of sense. Quickly fall apart, I think. e5 could make sense here too, opening the. But I like the idea of h6, looking to get here on g7. He can't really protect it, I think. I think he's in trouble here. Let's see, does he have any threat? He can attack my bishop, but then I could play something like 6. Does bishop e6 make any sense right now? There, I think he could just play knight to f. I think queen to h6 makes a little more sense here, because forcing him to think about what he has to do. Now he's in a little bit of trouble. Actually, quite a bit of trouble. Not even sure what he can do. I mean, he might try to play something like e5, but I think I can even start out with queen to g7 right away and just win a pawn. Actually, right now, he allows it. Bishop to e6 makes a lot of sense too. Then I'm threatening queen to g7 and 8 on f7. But I think worst case scenario, I'm at least winning the. Okay. So, knight to b6, attacking my bishop. Here, I can play. I think bishop e6 just. Let's just play that. We need to open things up by taking on 6 to take with the 8 pawn. He's in a bit of trouble here. And moves like f5 are coming. You know what? If this game ends early, maybe we can hop over to the Legends game and Legends tournament streaming. Okay, so well, I think he's trying to make some room here for his pieces, but clearing this for the knight to go here, but not going to give him. Let's attack his rook. Rook pretty much has to go to f8. Okay, I'm going to take this pawn. Now he cannot play knight here because it's going to. Oh no, it's not going to be made. It's going to be uncomfortable. Let's take here with check. Good block with the knight. That knight is pinned. Here, I think. Let's see, what can we. I can just push this pawn. Let's see, this e5. I don't want to take here on that. But does e5 make it? Just opening. Trying to get. You know what? It does make sense. It can break in here. If he captures with the d pawn, then that opens up the d file. If he captures with the f pawn, my knight can get into 6. So let's go ahead and play that. Right now his knight is pinned. If he moves his king, then I can win. He's kind of stuck right now. Hope everyone's doing well today. Like I said, if this game ends early, I'd like to, because it's such a crushing win, I might do just a little analysis. Okay, here, you know what? Should I take first? Yeah, I'm gonna take first here to try to open up this file, and now play. Oh, this is interesting. Now I play knight to g5, I think. Let's play knight to g5. So just threatening to. Oh, you know what? I should have taken here first. Okay, that's a little bit of a mistake, but I think we're still okay. I played too quick. Okay. What we could do here is actually just maintain the pin. Liquidating. This is slight inaccuracy because now he can defend this. If I play queen to h5, trying to maintain the pin, he might play rook to h8. Although if he did that, that would not be a great move. You know what? We can do that. Queen to h5. And the idea is to take some time and play bishop to h8. Still get rid of it. Because now he still can't play. So rook to h8, the idea will be to play bishop takes. Now he should be in. Yeah, he should be resigning soon. Because he's going to lose this. Okay, so he's trying to maintain the rook and just lost a piece. But what I'm going to do here is play this check. It's going to either drive him out into the open or back to the. So here, there's no reason for me to take that. So I'm just going to back up my queen. Let's see. Better moves. Yeah, I'm just going to back my queen. So, little bit of inaccuracy there, but oh, hey Dan, how's it going? Yeah, this game's pretty crushing, so might not do a ton of analysis. The only thing I might do is just look up real quick, see how how he could have played differently in the opening. caught the opening. He blundered his bishop like on move 4. Well, quite what he was doing. But this game right now is pretty could be pretty much over. But he's hanging on. Okay, play a little longer. And here I think I'm going to play. So one thing I could do is knight 7. Okay. I don't know. I think I could just win this rook. Really, you know what? Let's go ahead and oh. All right, let's win more material. I'm gonna win this, win another exchange here in the corner, and let's see. Now let's take here, and let's take here. Oh, and this one. It's good to notice the pins. Oh, that's cool. Found a mate in 5. Anastasia's mate. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, it's a very good mate to know. And great. Okay. He's still going. I'm not quite. He's going for the stalemate here. For the stalemate. Fortunately, I'm just gonna. I guess sometimes you just need to win these games. Not quite sure what playing for, but some people you don't need to resign right away. I mean, it's possible I can blunder. Yeah, this is where I try to. It's good for me in a way too because it forces me to try to think about what I'm doing. Um, Here again, it's mainly about safety. Because I don't do uses. So what I'm gonna just gonna threaten mate here, and that should be all she wrote. But again, you never know. Some people like to play on. Instead of take here first, then now I'm threatening mate on d8. Queen to d8 check, rook takes d8, rook takes 8 is kind of a version of the Arabian mate. I think it's more or what's called the hook mate. Talk about your mating themes. I don't think there's much he can do here. But we will play it out. Yeah, this Arabian mate theme shows up quite a bit here. It shows up a lot in my game. Not a lot, but I've had it more than once. Knight and rook. It's wonderful. Of course, it helps that I'm a ton of material ahead, so I don't have to worry. But in these cases, I do like to try to play efficiently. I mean, I guess you could just trade off stuff and kind of just win a ton of material, but I do try to find elegant situations. What is he doing? Oh, is he like playing for stalemate here? If I take it, let me just make sure I'm not falling into something. If I take here, I mean, it's gonna say. I mean, he's got plenty of pieces. There's no stalemate here. He's just going crazy. I don't know. Should I play another game? Let's see. Checkmate patterns, man. Yeah, checkmate. Do you have the full the I had the short course on that. Very good, very good course from it. I'm not sure it's overly important to know. You know, it's not important to know the names, but sometimes it is. Okay, let's just checkmate them. Sometimes it is useful in that vote for, especially if you're you're teaching your students to have a common language, but also the name is kind of a hook in your mind. I recognize the pattern instead of thinking, oh, this is that pattern where I check him with the knight. He goes to sacrifice my queen on h7 and then play my rook to and mate him with my rook on h. So if you know that as Anastasia's mate, it's much easier. I think there's less cognitive load. I don't know. That's just my opinion. So excellent. Yeah, I have so many courses on tactics, and I have a book called Art of the Checkmate by Bowden Con. Old book has a ton of those patterns that I didn't quite feel justified to buy the whole thing. Yeah, the John Bartholomew does the video on that, but doesn't. I think Crafty Raff actually wrote the original course. I think John did the video aspect of it. Okay, let me just go here. We're just going to look at this real quick. I'm going to go back and show you guys what happened here. So here he goes into a modern, and then here he plays bishop to g4. So I'm opening up the opening explorer. Of course, there's no moves, so I'm going to show you what he could have played, and maybe he kind of just got the move order wrong. So knight to f6 is the normal. This is the Peart's, called the Perk defense. And here, this is just a fine game for white. I mean, it's a solid game for black as well. And I'm just going to show you kind of the main line. And so maybe he was thinking that this bishop come out at some here, but okay. And then after this, there's a lot of moves here. The e5, you can to e2. You can line up queen to d2 with castling. So um, that is normally what would have been played here, but my opponent went bonkers, decided to go crazy. So, not really, admittedly, I guess I feel we could look at it a little, but let me just show you what happened here. Um, I think he had this idea that he was going to trap my queen. That could have been another idea. I mean, my opponent's rated 1916 rapid, which is not bad at all. Um, Here I allowed this weakening of my structure. Maybe instead of that, could have taken a move to do something else. But really, here I couldn't play e5 yet. I wanted to get this bishop out, so I think that was probably fine, especially since he has no development. Queen and now f6. The idea was to prevent knight to g5, but it's just a terrible way to do it. And maybe what he could have done was something like or h6 first, sure. But then he was maybe thinking that someday he could castle and then h6 would be liability. So he played f6 here, queen to h6. Here I just avoided. This bishop is too powerful. I could have backed it up here, but then maybe he plays something like this, getting a foothold, and then he gets his queen maybe 7, and then try to make things a little more complicated. But I think bishop to e6. There's a bunch of games like by Morphy where he finds a hole like this and places a piece on it, and it's just totally cramping on black style. Let's see here. Let's go a couple more moves, and you can see here I just kept things. Not quite sure why. I did put him in check here. Why did he take the bishop? And here, I went for this move, and I guess my only mistake here was not remembering that this was being attacked. So instead of knight to g5, which I played, maybe I could have played something else. I'm going to actually throw on the engine. I don't like to do this too often, but just because we're going to move here. And actually, well, ton of good moves here. Uh, this is still totally winning, but maybe even more convincing seems to be this move here. And then after rook takes, we have this fork here. Would have been totally crushing. So after this check, could have gone here, and I just another piece. I could even just play this and look at that lockup on his position. But of course, like I said, this is a totally winning position for white. Not quite sure what doing. So you know what? Let's oh what do you think would be what move let me which move you're discussing. Let's go back. Oh, queen to b8 here. Oh, queen to b8 is just he wants to free the d8 square for his knight. That was the I think the only reason. Yeah, at this point it's really hopeless. Let's go back again. Just um, really, I think he just lost his mind here for what he was thinking. I mean, there's so many moves here. Knight to f6 would be the standard move, but even if you wanted to play more of a modern type defense, you could have played e6 after knight to f3, played something like this, knight g to e7, which is kind of rare, but has been played in master practice. The idea, covering these squares, maybe you're five break kind of things in. So he had a lot of options. Yeah, no, I mean queen to b8 is kind of he sees this knight on or this bishop on e6 that he really he's just trying to do something. Yeah, no, it really starts off yeah, this game normally I kind of like when I try to find kind of even matches here. Rushing game. Here's what we're going to do. Let's see what's happening. The legends. Let's see. Are there any games that 20? Let's see. Are they playing any live right now? Okay, this looks like it's live, so let's just watch here. Fix my screen so you guys can see. Um, a moment. Okay, it looks like I'm not going to be able to fix it right away, but this is Ivan Chuk versus Pomnichi. Pronouncing that right. Like they're on the 39th move, and actually, I don't know. Do we want to play another game, or do we want to watch? Do you want? Do we want to watch some of the legends, or do you want me to play another game? Because that last game was a little faster than I thought it would be. Let me know what you want to do here. We can jump around and look at some of these games, like some commentary on it, or if you want, we can jump to play another game. Let me know in the comments. I don't know a couple of you guys there. Let me know what you guys want to definitely play another game. Happy to do that. And see if we can push this rapid rating of mine a little bit higher. I've been not playing so great lately, I have to admit. I haven't been training as I would like. I can see it in my play. I'm just not as sharp. But this position actually looks decent, but not sure about the winning chances. Even though white has an extra pawn, this is type of position with draw-ish. So I'm gonna maybe look at a different game here. Let's yeah, if you want me to play another game, let me know. Let me go ahead and see what other just going back to the. I'm not sure what the best way to get to are. Um, is this the only game that's going on? The Ivanchuk and Pomnichuk? Oh, let's check out. Okay, here we've got White has the exchange for a pawn. It's actually pretty good for White. So Ding Liren is playing the black pieces. Peter's Fiddler playing the white piece. Now this pass pawn looks like it might be dangerous, but I think the two rooks just isn't. Now I guess the question here: does White want to advance this pawn, or does he want to play something like rook to h6? Okay, he's going to hit him with this check first. Okay, then he's going to. Yeah, the one danger if he ants it right away, I thought was the rook can. Have you guys been following the Legends tournament at all? Problem here is that I don't. I think I might jump to another game. If that's okay with you, because games look like they've been. We haven't really. We didn't follow it from the beginning. Maybe what we could do is, if I know when these games are going to start, I could set up a stream where I comment on them. So let's go back here. We'll play one more today. See if we. I'm gonna make this a 10-5. Play a 10-5 rapid. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I've been following, kind of looking at some of the games afterwards, but really studying too much. Yeah, yeah. I was listening to this podcast with Erwin Lamy, one of Geary's seconds, and very impressive. Yeah, Peter's Fiddler. I've always been a fan of him, of Peter's Fiddler. I've always thought his game very interesting. But I've been, like I said, I've been browsing the games, but not really following so much. With Anand playing, he's one of my favorite players. Could be an age thing. Let's see. Switch it over to a. Okay, here we go. Okay, well, here my opponent's rated 2084. So let's see how we do here. Coming off of a win. Oh, the game was aborted. Okay, let's. Guess he didn't want to play. Okay, let's go back here. No, let's switch it over to a 15. Give us a little more time to think. Talk about the moves. So, if we can find one more game. Well, my last opponent aborted the game. That's why that happens. I had a lot of problems on stream last week, but I think that it's better. Okay, my opponent's rated 1905. I played this person before, and knight c3, so a little bit different. Let's see what happened here. Okay, the g3 variation. Um, Interestingly, I have not played against this very much. So let's want to. I think here one variation is I could play g6 here. Just forget what there. Knight to f6, bishop to g2. d6. So those are some options there. I really should. There's some areas of the theory that lines that I've studied quite a bit. There's some areas where I've seen a lot of games, maybe, or studied a few of the lines, but not really thought about it or memorized. Okay, so general idea here behind this particular line, dark squares with my bishop and my knight here, and there's a few ways to play this actually. You can play what they call a sort of a Botvinnik center 5. So my opponent here is going to be playing sort of a hack where he's going to play f4 and f5 maybe, and bishop to h6 at some point. So it might behoove me not to rush to castle. So that's one thing there. In this type of structure too, sometimes rook to b8 with 5 also good. But here I'm going to go ahead and play knight to f6, and one idea here is doesn't play bishop to 8. Now I can bishop or knight to g4, which he squashes here with this. Okay. E5 is an option here. The idea is to increase this grip more, as well as f4. Then I can play my bishop to e6. And I think he's waiting for me to castle here. I'm waiting a little bit. With rook to b8. Rook to b8, looking to play b5. Okay. And now that he's got his bishop on g2, I have to wait on playing 5 because of e5. So I'm going to go ahead and play e5 here. And so, yeah, this does leave a weakness here on d5, but in a way, it's sort of hard for white to take advantage of it by putting a knight without blocking his. Here, I think, let's see. Let's see, I could play bishop 6 first. Now, I think b5 is good. He's going to castle. Now, I don't necessarily want to play b4 right away. Looks like knight to d4 could be played too here. or I can castle too. There's a few options. He's going to want to play f4 at some point. He also thinking of playing 6. I'm going to go ahead and play bishop e6 first. This might be inviting the f4, but at risk. I have this pawn covering f5 as well. Sort of, but because of the closed structure with knight to c3, not quite a dragon. Normally, the dragon, it's kind of with the bishop on g7, it kind of has similar structure. It's not quite what I'm going. Okay, let's see here. G4. See, now this is interesting because now he's kind of opening this up. So I actually have thoughts of maybe even playing h5 here. And then if he plays g5, then that would probably, that's kind of a mistake because then I feel like my king is perfectly safe after that. h5, and if he takes, take with the knight, this knight could head over here to f5 for example. Maybe. Want to do. It is an option. I like h5 here. Yeah, so normally I don't play like in the open Sicilian, which would be e4, c5, knight f3, d6, d4, c takes d4, knight takes d4. I usually don't play the dragon, but here, when he plays knight c6 and g3, gives me a chance to play to take control of these dark squares. Kind of the idea behind it. Okay, here actually, there's a few ways to go here with the knight. I can actually go with knight to g1 or knight to g8 to e6. And again, just he's got some problems here of his own. The other option, go to d7 and d6, and then it still has this control over d5. And also, now b4 becomes more of a threat because my knight on b6 would be covering. I think I like that idea. Go for that. And here, even though it's, I normally wouldn't say delay this after, oh, let's see. Knight to b5. Take it with the bishop. Play knight to d4 here. And I can attack it later with knight to b6 for. And you can't really. I don't know if I want to take it with. Because if I leave it there. Well, I think I need to take it because if he plunks it on f6, I'm afraid. And even if he wins a pawn, keeps this. So let's try that. And here, so my semi concept here, this pawn is now blocking his bishop. I'll go to e. Okay. Now castling seems like it's going to be a good idea. Fully learned the position, especially with. Oh yeah, that's in the Maroczy bind. Yeah, the problem with what happened in that game, you know, other people watching don't. Dan and I played a game a couple weeks ago, and yeah, that was. I think it was just a little tactical. Feel either way. Okay, now what is he looking at? He's looking at this move, f4. Can't see what else he would be aiming for. I think we're okay. At some point, I want to expand on the queen stuff. I think it might be a good time to castle. Keep this safe. Now, does he have chances to sacrifice here? Maybe. Maybe. But then my knight gets to f5 and everything seems okay. Okay, did I just get my knight trapped? Let's see here. Maybe. What should I should play b4. That's okay. Looks like I have to. What can we do here? Is there anything we can do here to counterattack this? You know what? I can actually leave it there. Interestingly, leave it there because if he takes it, then his bishop is actually. So there's another option, guys. Isn't that interesting? So I could actually play b4 here. Then if he takes it, take with the pawn. Now, does he get any material out of it? Possible. Possible that he's going to get. Let's go ahead and play b4. Do you see that? So if he plays c takes d4, I take c takes d4. And if he goes bishop takes d4, I go bishop. My knight has the c5 square and the e5 square. Although this pawn is. Wish I could have said that. Let's queen b6. Yeah, that queen to b6 move. And I think you would be fine. Okay, here he's opening up, and I think I can just drop this knight. I can drop the knight back. Check. Why take first? Is there any reason I take here? I think I just dropped the knight. Well, let's see. So I can drop the knight back, or I can take on c. Take on c3. He takes back with the b pawn. Then I play knight to 5. I should play a4 there potentially, but then, well, not quite right away. a3. So I think I just play this. This is probably a better game to look at than the previous one. Leave probably maybe I should have taken on c. The idea being really open. I think he should have taken on d. Okay. I think so. He's looking to wrap here. I almost need to take it. Want to. But my bishop is going. Let's take. Okay, let me take here first. Has to take care of that because then I'm going to play rook to e8 because I think it's suicide to try to take here on f5. Play rook to e8. try to reroute my otherwise. I think maybe not super happy about. Now the other option might be interesting. Well, he plays f6 to play bishop takes f6 or knight takes f6. Because then frees the bishop, maybe makes it a little less cloudy. It is a sacrifice. Might be a good one. Because then I would have these pawns here. I would have open lines against my king. Knight to f5. On my side or on the white side? No, the reason I didn't want to play knight to f5 is I thought if he takes it with the pawns on the kind of mess. Knight to e4. Looking kind of sloppy. I think here I can play. Huh. Threatening e6. Two ways I can handle that. Play queen 7, queen 6. Play bishop to f8. Bishop to f8 isn't good though. Well, the pawn is protected. I don't have to play it right now. I need to cover this f6 square in case he tries to go. I'm thinking. Oh no, it is covered. Okay. The reason why this knight is covering it, but a move that might be. Now, what might happen is so this position. I think white might have an edge here, but I don't think. I think my position could be safe. But this is not maybe the model of how to how to play this, but in a way, if he plays f6, he's hacking chances to out his shutting out. Bishop is looking. Oh. Trying to think how I'm going to rearrange these. I think what's going to happen here. If he plays f6, I'm going to play bishop to f8, then play queen 7, and my other rook to b. Try to stuff over here on the side. And there's a lot of things actually that I can do. If I can advance this pawn 3, for example, get a rook to 2, that would be quite nice. Well, so this game is definitely not, even though I think my position is a little cramped, definitely not losing. And I should be mindful of the time as well. Run out of run low on time and to be forced to make poor decisions. So this is sort of the concept here, or a concept I want you to think about in these types of positions are pawn breaks. In this position, it looks like White's the one with all the pawn breaks, part of the advantage. He can push d4 at some point. He can set that up, and actually, that's the main one. Okay, a4 is played. Here we can play. Knight c7. So actually, here I'm threatening knight. Um, hmm. This move, I think I can just. Now it does give up the b file, but it's protecting this d6 a little more. Okay, e4. Yeah, this position definitely not definitely not ideal. He's really got me hemmed in here. But on the other hand, his ability is to attack is going to be covered as well. But what I need to do here is get active on this B file. So let's play taking queen to a8. Queen to a8 here, rook to b8. And if I have time, questionable, 5, then play that rook, then play my queen back onto the b. Very odd, very odd moments here. Yeah, I would say white has the in my analysis. I want to see how it would have played differently. Okay, he's going to take here, and I just need back. So this actually, he's going to hit me with this check, and I need to take it. But what should I think? Well, the general idea here is if I take with the knight, he takes here, and now he's attacking, and he's looking his fork in. So I think I have to actually take bishop. Okay, take with the bishop. Now, when he plays, he takes f6, play right here. So I think he was planning for me to take with the knight. Then he would attack my bishop, and when my bishop retreat, he would fork on f7 with the pawn. So good thing I saw that. Now, definitely my position is not great. I think I can bring pieces over to the defense. Hopefully be able to stop him. Okay, he's going to hit me with this check anyway. Let's... I think we just need to grab this pawn. Take this pawn. Probably going to bring his rook over. And here, I have to be careful. I think my best move is actually, seems a little odd, actually put myself in a pin. And here's my reasoning, is that if I go to g7, for example, he's going to play bishop to h6. And if I move away from there, he's got have these checks here. Now here I've got actually a defense because he plays bishop 5, trying to win it. I have knight 8. Then I could actually play knight to queen to d8 and start to put pressure on this pawn and actually get a little activity, which is good. You can see these central pawns, even though I have the 2 knights, the central pawns are preventing his bishops from too much damage. Again, not saying it's an ideal position, but it is something worth playing for. Now, here, I have a decision to make because maybe I can play. Well, no, I think I want to keep my queen available counterattack again. I was going to say maybe I could bring my queen. My only fear here, though, is queen's entry here. But in order to do that, he would have to do this. I think we're okay here. So we are a pawn up. I do have a few weaknesses here. Okay, I want to bring this queen in. I think here I can actually play king to g7 now. Can't I? King to g7, then if he puts his bishop back on h5, actually okay with that. Now, I just have to keep this queen out of h6. Truth be told, the still a precarious position. He could play queen to g5. I play queen to d8. Then he plays his bishop here. That would be very, very uncomfortable. However, actually, queen to g5. Now, oh, actually, that's not too bad. Rook takes. So here's the dilemma: is this queen to d8? Something like knight to h6 might be better. Gets me with this check here on e7, and go g8. He wants to insist checking me. No, that would not work. Seven's not. Yeah, this is a little problematic. Okay, I think I have to play queen to b6. I'm low on time here, so I'm up with a better defense. Now he can play rook takes. I can play, yeah, this. Gets two pieces for the rook, and I think king is safe for this. So now a little sticky defense here. Bishop to e4 affected. Oh, okay. Well, wait, so this is going to be a tough defense, but I think it's one that I can bring my. So do I bring my king back in, or do I grab this? I think I need to keep this on because. Okay. So here, I think what I need to do is try to force him away. I'd rather sacrifice this pawn. I think I'm going to see if he wants to grab that pawn. See if I can do a bit of attack. Here, he's going to. This is okay. I'm going to lose this pawn, which is 9. That's okay. Okay, he's going to take that one here. I think the key was to keep this 6 pawn, but it's a little bit tricky. 100%. Attack. Try to gain the initiative here. So my strength of my position, but he can advance this. So it's not really totally. So I need to do here to prevent his bishop from getting here, so he can support this pawn. Meantime, I've got to start advancing my pawn. Oh, maybe I should have played rook. See if we can play it out. Not exactly sure if I can. Okay, well, we're going to that. Now, if he ever sacrifices his bishop for one of these pawns, then that will be good. The problem he's going to have. Okay. Hack this up. Actually, a very interesting two bishops again. Get this pawn rolling. That's really my saving grace here. Going to hack this pawn, forces bishop away. Back there. Pawn. Right. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay. I think he has no way to stop this pawn. Okay. It does. Okay. Okay, I'm going to sacrifice this rook. I think. Well, you can't take it because. So there's still hope here. Accepted the move. Oh, awesome, Dan. Good luck with everything, and I'll talk to you soon. King over here. Threaten to pawn. Here, I probably should have paid a little more attention to pawns here. Time trouble. I lost the thread a little bit. Bring this king over to attack. I was thinking of playing rook to f8, but then he just moved the king out of the way, and I can't take the rook. The only way I can do it is if I okay. Here here. It looks like okay. Looks like I might be lost here. Take here. Yeah, it looks like we lost that game. We'll have to take a look at that. I think tough one. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm gonna. Well, you know what? Let's just go back real quick, just real quick. Take 5 minutes. Up to this side of things, and let's just go back and see where we could have played a little bit better. Actually, let's go all the way. Let's go back here first, and here. My opponent plays here. Maybe could have. Did I end up playing here? And he took here. I see. So maybe instead of advancing this, I could have played here. Maybe then hits me with this check, and then tries to go here. I go here. Hacks it, for example. I can go here. Just get behind. Maybe that's okay for me. See what the computer says. Right around, I think. Right here. Yeah, I think rook to b3. Still says it's. Well, let's go back further. Start from the beginning. C. Or so far we're in book still. Here, rook to b8 is actually the number. Knight f6. Okay. Here, castling is actually here. 2. Then we can kind of getting back into normal lines. But I'm wondering if this transposes actually. So knight to d4 has been by masters. F followed by f4. Okay. So kind of a few places where I could have played better. Let's looking. I think the game is fine for me. Now, here instead of taking, you're suggesting castling or dive, which makes a lot of sense. That would have been a little more restrained instead of taking right away because this knight doesn't look like it's doing too much quite yet. After f4, now I can take 5, 7, covering this f5 square. What would happen after knight to g3? 4? 4? Knight to f5 is pretty even. Still slight edge to white. Anyways, well, 1 for 2 isn't bad. Appreciate you guys watching. We'll talk to you next time. Okay, thanks for joining me. And well, actually, let me before we do that, find you guys my schedule here. So today's was the streaming on YouTube. Tuesday, I'm going to be streaming on Twitch. So definitely check that out. And of course, Monday and Thursdays, I'll be uploading a video. I have a new series that I'm thinking of starting called Principles of Better Chess Training, talking about principles behind learning and education that I try to apply in my chess training and try to as well. Anyways, thanks for watching.